Hey everybody, back at you again today with the Battletoads. This one's going to be, I told you I was going to do something special. This one's going to be special. Bear with me a second while I put this on the page real quick so everybody can see, and Facebook's going to drag on me. And here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this over real quick, and we'll get started right in on this one. It's going to be a blast, okay? I am going to be doing all three of them. We are going to have Zitz, Rash, and Pimple all in this set. And we're going to take it from there. Let me find out what I do with my pencil. I'm on a little early today because of the fact that I wanted to make sure that I got to do everything I wanted to do with this. And I'm hammering out the last page or two of Lone Rider, so I have to get back to that. I don't want to miss out on you guys being around, so I decided to do this a little early today in comparison to what I normally do. And with the weather coming in and stuff today too, I don't want it to be a problem and knock us out and us have no fun. We didn't get to see you today. But yeah, like I said yesterday, I was going to make a special announcement today. I've been doing a lot of this stuff with the comic books and whatnot for a long time, and took some time off from anything more than my regular clients with my internet marketing and social media and book work and whatnot. Anyway, with the site revamp coming up and whatnot, I've got my blog ready to go, and I'm going to put it out here in the next few days. I'm going to put up a date for you guys and get that going. I am currently waiting for it to propagate with all of the new articles and blog posts and all that I put on there for you guys. And I've got a training course coming up for the how to draw and write comics, as well as some how to build your social media stuff. And been working with, just anybody that I can study, as well as connecting with good friends, and working with growing that side of my business back up, because after the end of the Martin Lindstrom bestseller campaign for Small Data, I decided to keep what clients I had local and small and already pre-existing for that, and work on my comic stuff, because I got really invigorated after that book campaign to get my comic out. And I was working with my my former student and colleague, Elizabeth Ann Hamilton, and my podcast co-host before we decided to move on and do different things, because of my comics and stuff, and her moving into her book agency rep stuff and all that. And I've been working with other students like Perul, and which you may know her or may not, and Allie McAdam, which is not a student of mine. She's a fellow, she's just a fellow colleague and a great person to hang out with. If you guys need some Instagram boosting, she's the one to talk to. She's put out a new course that I just beta tested for, and it's phenomenal. As far as comics go, I still will be doing this every single day. I will still be kicking out my comic books on regular basis, and just getting back to, like I said, basics a little bit and pushing the business that direction. So if you guys start seeing posts on that stuff, I haven't gone off my rocker. It's just I've decided to stop making everybody else household names for, like my clientele, and made a promise a while back to my sister that passed away that I would be doing a ton more work of this sort and putting stuff out there for myself and making myself the forefront runner, rather than making everybody else famous and having all of that go on and, hey, he's famous and this name's famous and that name's famous and blah, blah, blah. And it's been a lot of my work from behind the scenes, and due to contracts and things, I can't reveal a lot of who that was. But I've been studying all of the great mentors for, good God, 30 years, since I was a teen, and built up the business, and this comics is just not what I do. It is part of what I do. and I love this industry, and I'll be helping you guys build up your comic brands and such as well. And I have specific courses for that, but I'm going to be moving a lot more into balancing out the 97% footprint that I have on social media and the internet right now, targeting comics. I have targeted it to where it's at the top of pretty much everything that I want to do, and I'm going to start releasing books and properties and products, and I'm going to get back into the marketing side of things as well, because I've neglected that side a little bit longer than I should have. And, you know, to have a 3% footprint on social media for being a social media expert is kind of, it's a little bit lax. So to put it politely, but this is just part of what I do. I mean, if you guys don't know what I do there, I've been a bestseller on Amazon, and I'm about to put 2 more books out in that series for that brand, the Mental Rift. And it's about to go back up in price. I dropped it in price for a while because it's over a year old, but I'm about to reload that one and update it with a new workbook and some expansion stuff on the new version. And the new part to the series will be added on as well. You guys will be able to see me at bradleylinder.com and follow me over there and find out more about that from my blog and stuff. And like I said, I'll still be here. Same Brad, same stuff, same business. Going to be knocking out some comic stuff and posting some of those books this week. Finally, I'm really, really impressed with it. I need your feedback on this as well. The second point of the news that I wanted to say was, you know, so if you guys see that, don't freak out. But the big thing comic related is the fact that I want to make sure of what you guys think and what you see going on with the comic book, because I'm about to kick up a Kickstarter, and I'm asking for support on that. If you guys are awesome with it, please step up and help. And you know, if you're not, that's okay too. Spread the word, that'll help out. But the reason that I've been doing these cards is, I'm going to make it a big announcement here pretty quick. The reason that I've been doing these cards is the fact that I'm building a book around them. Okay? I am building a book of original artwork, and it's Brad Linder Draws Comics and Cartoons, and I'm going to be putting that book out as an ebook as well as print hard copies available at the end of the month in October. And that will be volume 1 that has the first of these 100 and I guess 60 or 65, maybe even 70 cards in that series. And they will have links in the book to go to see the videos and access the channel and all that, where you guys can verify what's going on with it. But as far as these cards go, what I've been saying the last couple of months now that we've been doing this, you guys are looking at getting access to buy these cards as part of your Kickstarter reward. If you donate to the Kickstarter, you will get to pick, and it will be first come, first serve. Sorry if you don't like that. That's the way it's going to be. Just to be fair, if you come on and you bid when the Kickstarter opens for the Lone Rider Frontier Galaxy book, I will give you one of these cards if you donate more than $10. That's all it takes, $10. Now, as it goes along, if you're not bidding and you're not buying, then I will move the price up. And some of the cards will be at bigger prices, but they will start at $10. And the reason I'm going to be doing that is because, like I said, I want to give you the authenticity of that book to hold that position with these cards and to hold their value for your unique delivery. With your comic book and the access to other comics and rewards and awards and things that I'll have on as you donate, I will be moving into getting some really cool stuff with other things to come along. You know, there'll be t-shirts available, there'll be cups available, there'll be comics available for some of my other Firestone comics that you guys have. I've got a couple of friends that are going to be donating comic books to give away as part of the campaign, and I will be pushing that up. Now, the reason I'm telling you this right now, because you're like, I know most of you are like, well, that's going to be a hard deal, man. I'm telling you this now so that when this comes up, it's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be a shock. and it's not going to be hardcore. You know, you guys aren't going to be able to be freaking out on me going, you know, you can't do that, man. That's hard. We can't do it. Well, then you're going to miss out. I'm sorry. But if you want to get some of these cards or some of the subsets, which I will be breaking them up into, you will have access to that opportunity. But if you do not, if you refuse and you miss out, once that deal is gone, I will be selling those cards for whatever rate that I want to put out on those cards at that point on my website. So after the Kickstarter is over, you won't be able to get them as a bonus for whatever you donate. Because, I mean, you're looking at $10 for starters for one of these individuals. And, you know, I sell these things flat out for 150 bucks. I mean, I know that's crazy, but they're penciled, they're inks, you know, they're solid and they're unique. And I do custom cards like this for 150 bucks. Now, granted, they're Bristols, and I'm not trying to get anybody, you know, I'm not saying it's going to go nuts on anybody or anything like that. And the website will probably, because they're index blanks, I will probably sell them in the $50 range. But the more rare they are and the more selective they are, they're going to be a little bit higher in price because of the fact of what they are. I'm sorry, the more favorite characters and more popular characters will go for a little bit more. You know, it just depends. Now, whatever I get for this is going to go to the comic book funding of my book being produced. It's going to pay for my coloring, you know, for my hiring of my colorist, and it's going to go off for print production and manufacturing and all that good stuff. Now, also, there's going to be a big chunk of this that is going to be used for other things like alternative covers, which I'm going to be doing as well. I don't normally do alternative covers for other artists to do that, but since I laid this book out and I've done so much work on it, and it's my roughs, and then it's Jorge's actual finished penciling, and then it's my inks and my cleanup over his penciling to save time for me to work on Catman and a couple of other projects. I'm going to be doing that. So, you know, this is going to be a good campaign. This is going to be a solid one to get in on. If you want my artwork and you like it and you're following this stuff and you want to get a piece of you know, the show that this reflects over on my YouTube channel and have a book, you know, that a copy of the book that represents this card that you have and shows which number in the series it is and the validity of the authenticity of the work, then you want to jump in on this early, because like I said, once these cards start going, they're going to start zooming off, and they're going to start, like I said, they're going to start at $10, $10 donations, and then move out from there. And if you're not on board, I'm sorry, you're just going to miss it. You'll have to get a custom commission from me, or possibly just miss out on the book project completely. And I don't want you to do that. So be sure to get in and get your favorite ones. Watch out and on my feed, and watch out for when this goes live, because I'm not playing around here. I'm going to be kicking these out, and like I said, they will be part of my Kickstarter campaign. Everybody's been asking me what I was going to do with them. I'm building a book around them that you'll be able to get, and that will be a cool prize to go with them. Now, I will be giving away all of them, but if you miss out, it's your problem, okay? Just understand, if you miss out on this, it's going to be your loss. But anyway, everybody asked me what I've been doing with this stuff and why, you know, I wanted to save these cards and whatever, and I'm telling you right now, I am going to be doing that project for my Kickstarter and boosting this up. I am tired of Kickstarters ripping people off because of the fact of direct sales on books. Please don't do that. You know, don't buy a comic book just to buy a comic book, you know, and then squawk, oh, it's $10. I'm not buying a $10 comic book. And then charge, you know, make the guy charge a loss because of the fact that he has to go out, or he or she has to go out and fund that book by giving you $150 worth of stuff for a $10 donation to get the book made. That's not what it's for. Kickstarter is about praising each other and supporting the content and the continuity in the books so that they can be made and supported and funded. You know, it is a fundraising platform. It is not a direct sales platform. If you want a direct sales platform, buy it from Amazon for digital. You know, save yourself the money, or go to whatever outsource they have outsourced pack they have and buy the book direct. You know, don't kick them in the teeth because of the fact that you want to be cheap and buy, you know, get $50 worth of stuff for $5 worth of donation. That's just robbery. And we have to stop doing that to each other in the comic industry, especially. I see it happen all the time on Kickstarter, and I don't want to have to worry about that. I don't want to be bothered with that, and I don't want to be a part of that. I want you guys to buy the book because you want to support the book and find it interesting. And if you want to get some extra rewards like this that are really cool, I'm game for that. I am all about doing that. But I don't want to have it as a loss to where I get, you know, $1,500 worth of printing stuff or $1,500 bidding price because I need you know, I need that as the processing fee, and then turn around and have everybody come up and say, well, you know, you need to give me $50 worth of stuff. So I donated $5. You need to give me $50 worth of stuff, because I'm tired of that. I see that all the time, and I see people get ripped off all the time. All these great books get damaged because of it, and we need to quit doing that to ourselves. Because again, that's a swap meet market, and I'm not for that. I'm there to get crowdfunded. I'm not there to get a swap meet market. And the reason I use crowdfunding, I could do this on my own and have no problem going digital and print on demand. I could do that today, no problem. But why am I doing a Kickstarter? Because of the simple fact of what we need to do is build branding on this book. And the way I do that is I buy in for a readership. So if you go off and you supply $10, you know, if you donate $5, $10, whatever it is, to that Kickstarter, and you help me fund that book, I can guarantee that you're going to be a fan of that book because you've invested that money. And by investing that, I'm going to respect you and keep the book going thereafter. But you have to show me the fact that you just don't want the $50 and stuff. You want my book. That's what I want to know. And if my book's good enough, you'll go for it. I've been shut out twice in Catman Evolution #1 because of the fact that I didn't offer enough stuff. And everybody, when I asked over 150 people that were potential backers and followers why they didn't buy in. And every one of them that said that they didn't fund said they didn't want the book because of the fact that they wanted the bonuses and they wouldn't pay. They refused to pay for a $10 comic book. The thing is, if I'm going at that level, it's not to buy out a $10 comic book, okay? It's to build the brand and the business so that I can do the next book as well, because it's going to keep my guys moving forward so you can have the next story. Think about that one. We all need to look at our comic books that way. And if you're not, then you're just in direct sales and you're just supporting a dead loop, and you're just as bad at feeding the market as these guys that come up with these, they call on everybody and say, hey, buy my book and then I'll buy your book next month. And it's a dreaded loop. Don't fall into that. Support the comics that you like and support the comics you want to help in the industry. Buy the comic book because you want to read the comic. Don't buy the comic because you want to just get a feedback later, a kickback from your friend later. I see that kind of stuff happen all the time. Be sure not to fall victim to that. But so you know, I will be releasing Lone Rider as a Kickstarter comic book campaign. And I will be doing that in the next week or two. And I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with it. But I want you to understand that when I put this out there, I want to see support from it. And I don't want to hear any crap about the $10 book, because you're getting a massive, major original piece of art selection with your purchase if you do that. And there's no reason for anybody to complain. Now, the next thing is with everything that's going on with the webcomic coming up. I'm going to be doing that this month as well. And I've been working hard on that book. It is an original property that is going to shock a lot of people. And I'm going to love it because of the fact that it needs to. So, I was told that, webcomics suck. You can't make money off a webcomic. Well, guess what? I'm going to produce the comic book. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to share it with you guys. Then I'm going to flip it. and I'm going to put it in a book. And I'm going to print that book. And we're going to put it out there. And we're going to see if you buy it. We want to test the market. How much do you love comics? How much would you love to see your favorite webcomic go into a printed book or a digital book or a digital download, however you guys want to consume it? I'm fishing for information on the market. I'm testing it out because I'm going to be doing a lot of different stuff this year. And between now and December, things are going to really be rocking here pretty quick because I got tired of being held back and, waiting on stuff and having people flake out and not do the books and whatever. And now with the marketing side of things coming back into play, I've got to kick it in gear, guys. I really do. I have to get stuff done, and I don't do projects that I don't have time for. That's the reason I closed down a lot of the projects that I was working on. And I'm calling you guys out, If you say that you're in the comic industry and you want to see comic books make it and comic books work, trust me, buy into these, get into the following. Let me help you make your business a brand. Let me help you build it up. Follow what I post and get it out there. I mean, why should you listen to me? Because I've had a best-selling book on Amazon. Because I've done this for 25 years, comics and marketing. And it's one of those things where it's time to start evolving. You know what I mean? So I'm going to step it up and put it out there for you. I'll help you as long as you help me. Let me help you by you helping yourself. That's how you help me. Support the industry, jump in, make it count, make your comic books, stop hiding behind the fear of it, and stop talking garbage, I can't do that because it's all because of you, It's all you hands down, and I'll help you get it done. And it's going to be a wild ride. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun ride. A lot of people told me not to say this stuff publicly because of the fact that they were fear, driven and whatnot. And it's just like, you can't make it happen this way because comics doesn't work this way. Well, I've seen comics work way differently in the independent market from the 70s and 80s that I grew up with. And I used to buy nothing but indie comics when I was a kid. Death in the Family in the mid-80s is what got me back into comics and made me pick up the stuff that I just had to have throughout the years. And, I bought mainstream comics too, but primarily I would buy comics that were independent because of the fact that they were just better stories to me. I'm going to tell you hands down, man, if you're in the industry, you need to start getting serious about it and start revitalizing it instead of worrying about what Warner Brothers and Disney's doing, and start getting out there and making comics. And I want to be a strong voice and advocate for that. And I want to teach people how to be successful and make their comics fly off the shelves, or in this case, out of the digital booth. That's a big thing right now. So make the transition, make the call, and watch out for this stuff. If you guys enjoy what I do and you're fans of my art and you're fans of my writing and you're fans of my stuff, then I'm calling to you. Please help me do this and make this book happen, because I'm doing this, like I said, for a testing ground to find out who's really serious about comics versus, just talking a good game. As far as the marketing stuff goes, I'm so tired of people getting burned because of that stuff. I am an expert in the field, and as a strategist, I say that, you have to do certain things and you have to do the work. And I've been told by so many people, you can't work that hard, you'll die, you'll burn out, and blah, blah, blah. And then 10 years later, they still have no business. But yet you tell that to somebody, for a comics example, you tell that to somebody like Todd McFarlane. The dude works tons every day and does nothing but marketing and promoting and producing, and it's just hammered. And I have that same kind of work ethic, and I know I do. And I'm not bragging here. I'm just telling you hands down, if you want to make it, you got to get off your butt and stick to work to grind. Because if not, then you're just wasting time. So, I mean, even if you just stayed up 2 extra hours a night, and went to went to a 6-hour night of sleep instead of an 8 or 9 hour night, or if you shaved off 2 hours of your video game time every day, you know, if you spent 2 hours instead of 4 hours a night playing video games and put that time invested in your work, that would be 2 hours extra of time to work on everything you need. So, sorry for the stuttering. I'm excited, as you can hear. And, you know, I'm tired of holding back on this stuff. People need to step up and say this, and no one does it without being really, really ripped on and ridiculed. But I'm telling you, hands down, we as an industry have to get our heads out of the sand and start producing stuff and taking it seriously. And I've been asked by many a marketing follower to step up and show a plan of how to do this, to where, you know, artists can step up and say, okay, I'm an artist now, I want to be a businessman as well, and I want to make my book happen, and I'm tired of just following everybody else or trying to do freelance and starving. Well, guess what? Now you got the opportunity to do so, because I'm going to show you how here very, very soon, and you guys are going to have to step up and do it. And if you don't, then guess who it's on? Sorry, that one's on you. But anyway, this card's about done, and that's what these card sets are for. And I'm going to start posting them up. I'm going to put the book together this next week or so, and it'll be ready for the Kickstarter. I'm going to start putting up the Kickstarter this weekend so that you guys will be able to see that. And I'm going to bust it out. And if you're there, seriously there, like you talk about being a follower right now, and you want to get this stuff going, you'll have plenty of time to do it. And I would love to see you there, and I would love to see you get one of these cards. Tell me which one you get, because what you're going to do is you're going to go into Kickstarter when it goes live. You're going to be able to place your donation, and then you'll be able to select your card, and you'll be able to email me that number, that receipt number, and verify your donation with me, and then verify that the card that you get. And once the Kickstarter's over, then I will send out this card for you. I will send it out signed, and I will send it out immediately with your copy of the book and all that stuff. So I'm tired of playing around with these people that want to go on here and say, you know, 3 months later, I'm gonna go and do your book now, but you paid for 3 issues of mine. Now I'm gonna go on and buy one of yours, and then it's the same $5 going back and forth and back and forth. I'm also here doing this to prove that Kickstarter does work for comics in a different and professional way, the way it's supposed to, as a crowdfunding platform. If you want to build a business for your comic book, you should expect each person to at least put in $10 a person. If you get the people to do that and understand that they're getting a prize-winning promotional for your comic book, and you invest it properly, and it turns around and makes a couple of different comics because you invest the money properly, then there's no reason that they should hold back on you. None. Unless they're just buying comic books at $5 a pop, direct sales through face value, and screwing you. And I'm sorry, but I'm tired of seeing people get burned that way. You know, I don't believe in doing $500 worth of stuff for a $10 donation. That's just crazy. And I don't believe that you should be doing direct sales on the platform. And unfortunately, Kickstarter is not caring because they're getting their fees out of the back end. So they really don't care. So, you know, whenever you see all this go down, that's one of the biggest things about Kickstarter that's just as bad as anything else, is the fact that it's going off and screwing people by that type of mentality. And the people that are hitting success are going, well, wow, man, I've got a great book out here. I've got all these sales, and I've got all these backers, and I've got all this trade. Well, how many projects did you have to back to get that? Oh, I only backed 400 packages before I got mine going. Yeah, you're doing the same thing in that mentality too. Don't underestimate the power of that, because that's exactly what you're doing. So, you know, think about where you're at, what you're doing, what you got going on, and how you do Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all that. Because I tell you, it's burning a lot of bridges, and it's showing the social platform that, you know, well, okay, we'll let the users neglect the system because it's okay. Stop doing that. And stop doing it, you know, now. By supporting books that you like, supporting books you want to see, supporting companies that you want to grow, and make that happen on a positive level instead of just buying a comic book direct at, don't buy at face value and then wonder why, well, it takes a year to get the second issue. Well, that's because I can't afford to. Like I said, I'm doing this to prove a point and to help everybody else. So if you're out there and you're trying to get a comic book produced, understand that this is the point of why you can't get past the second issue and you have to wait 6 months for a volume. It's because you're shooting yourself in the foot as a fan. Stop supporting that stuff. Support comics that you in the way that you want to see them succeed so that you can get more stuff done. But anyway, with that said, I know this was a tough one. I digress here, but I just had to vent that off because this is crazy stuff that people are doing, and we need to quit doing that, and we need to quit ruining our comic books. So if you're a comic publisher and you go on Kickstarter and you sell direct, you're just as bad as the guys that are going off and buying that way, because you're teaching them to buy that way from you. So, once the time runs out, once the ticker runs out, once the new is gone off the comic, and then they're griping at you because you can't produce another comic book. Well, man, I'm not going to buy a second volume because it's, you put it out in 2014 and now it's 2019 and you're not doing anything with it. Well, sorry, that's the way it works, I held off from my comics for a while to do marketing stuff. I held off from my marketing stuff to do comics, and I've decided that I can do both because someone told me that I could not do both niche markets. And I was like, you know what? I'm good at both. I make money in both, and you can just forget that. So, this is a time to where the internet is evolving and you have to do multiple things. You can have multiple interests and put them out there and say, okay, I have multiple interests. This is what I want to do, and make a real go of it. And there are so many people that just hinder that with negative, stupid shopping. And it is stupid because you're wasting the same $5 back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I know I've talked about this before, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same $5 being passed back and forth, and you can't understand why you're not making a profit. It's because of the fact that it's the same $5. So, take that into consideration when you're going to buy a comic, and also when you're going to publish a comic. There's so many people just burning themselves badly with that. So figure out what you're going to do with it, and pick the card you want out of my campaign and start fresh with that one, and I'll make sure that you get it. But you got to get in there first, because you can't be, well, I don't want to buy a $10 comic book. Well, then that's not for you. Don't spend that much. But if you can't get the cards you want because you're not willing to invest, and that's where it's at, I'm sorry, that's part of it too. But I've seen people build, my good friend Ryan built a cooler on there and made millions and millions of dollars off of it. And I asked him, I said, what did you do? He said, well, I have a launch campaign that I used, and I convinced everybody that was going to back it that the cooler was there. And I said, you made 25 grand off of a freaking cooler. How did you do that? To develop a cooler. Well, the platform's a business platform, and I told him I wouldn't take anything less. And I'm telling you hands down right now, comics are the same way. Comics are a business. And I want to make my books survive, and I want your books to survive. And the way they're going to do that is if we stop it and work together and fuel the comic industry the way we need to on the independent level, which we don't do. Top Cow has even started doing Kickstarters because of the fact that it's more affordable to produce a comic ahead of time. Now, I'm not saying that I'm Mark Silvestri, and I'm not saying that I'm not Randy Green or any of these other guys. What I'm saying is it's not fair to use a commercial level brand to do the same thing that I'm requesting at an independent level, which is what the platform was started for, versus someone like Top Cow, and they get millions of dollars for nothing. The same thing that they do every month. And all they're doing is taking your money ahead of time. And they're using a large-scale model of direct sales, which again is hindering the same problem that everybody else is having with their indie book, because we can't afford to build up anything else. You want to make a guy last, you give him $10 and let him build up 3 issues of his comic book for you. You want to make a company last, you help them out by donating $20 to one guy at a month instead of $10 in individual $1 sales, which doesn't help anybody. Think about that. You know, well, I bought this guy's book 5 months ago. I have to do it. I promised I'd buy the second issue. I got the first one. I haven't seen or heard from him since, but here we go. But then you got guys like me that go in there and try to get comics out there because we want to do comics. Think about that. Think about it. Invest in the future of comics by what you invest in on Kickstarter. Are you investing in comics that are going to make it? Are you investing in quality comic books? Are you investing in professional level quality comic books? Not just sketching, you know, sketchel, hetchel, whatever is out there at the time. Think about that. So, with that said, I'm going to shut up now. And you guys start using, you know, food for thought, man. You guys start using your nuggets, because that's what they're there for. There's a lot of stuff coming on, and a lot of good comics are going to be coming out. A lot of good artwork's coming out. I want to see how it's going, and I'm just tired of the whole Kickstarter mess of buying all these books by the same people, for the same people, from the same people, and then nobody ever inventing a new level to make their book come back. They're making profit off of it instead of producing their books. And that's because you guys are buying direct sale and they're selling directly. Don't do that. Make them build up 3 issues. Make them sell you the donation of 3 issues. You know? You buy now, you're guaranteed to get 1 and 2 if you donate at the $20 level. How extreme would that be to think about? Think about that one. There's the model we need right there. You buy in and you get 3 issues. You're guaranteed. Excuse me. But you have to buy but you have to pay $20 or $25 or $30 to get it. And it's stupid not to. So, anyway. But that's what these cards are for. That's what all this work is for. And I'm building up like I said, I'm building up a sketchbook for these for educational purposes. And all of these will be available for your donation. They will be an award for that, a bonus. I want to see how it goes off and how everybody responds to it. I think it's going to be neat. And yes, I said neat. I say that from time to time. But no, I don't say gee willikers or anything like that. But I think it should be a cool process. I think that Kickstarter needs a revamp. And it shouldn't apply to direct sales. It should not. I think we need to go from a different perspective on it. And like I said, this campaign will be for the first 3 issues of Lone Rider. And if you put in $25 or more, you'll get all 3 issues. That'll be the level you're going at. So I'm going to start it off. And let's see how big and bad it is that we go into that deal. And, if it gets shot down and I hear, well, I'm not paying $25 per comic book that may not make it. Well, the thing is, you're buying all 3. That's what you get as the reward. So I'll have to post dates and back it up. Otherwise, you'll be able to report me to Kickstarter and get your money back. How about that one? And that's something that every creator should do. That's something that every creator should do with Kickstarter. That's not just a good comics business platform. That's good sound business, period, when you're in publications of periodicals like we are for comics. You want to get your next 3 comics done? All right, fine. You bid $25 and I make the comic book. I'll make print-on-demand copies if I have to make sure that you get that comic book. Because it'll be formatted already. So, You know, it'll have a release date. It'll come out. It'll be done. Think about that one. That's how I'm going to challenge you guys to buy into my Kickstarter and get that going. If you want to put your money where your mouth is and you want to see something come out of it, awesome. But I'm trying to prove the fact that right now direct sales and Kickstarter are freaking horrible, and they're controlling it. Granted, everybody's had some great Kickstarters coming out and giving great rewards and great awards away, but the thing is, they're barely getting by with the profits because of the fact that there's no evolution to it. There's no validity to it because of the fact that everybody's buying it at cost. So it's still the same problem. It's just a different way. But anyway, here's Zitz. I hope you guys dig him. I hope you guys like it. I hope you want to come back and see the Leia piece that I'm doing in a little while for the comic book covers for cancer. I'm going to be finishing that up. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that live online later. And if not today, early in the morning, so that you guys will be able to get a kick out of that. Tomorrow is going to be one of the other Toads is coming up. We'll have that, and I'll have some more stuff for you on the marketing front and on the comics front as well for some stuff that I'm going to be releasing later in the month. So you guys hang tight with that. Thank you for enjoying the announcement and enjoying the draw time and hearing me rattle on about my rant. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care.